cover. After a bit of analysis, we likely failed to beat Mycelial Bastion last episode because of a lack of graphite. We didn't have enough coal to produce enough in time. This episode, our only goal will be to overcome our graphite issues and more to beat Mycelial Bastion. To start, we will be adding a very important feature to our core schematic, power. To do this, we will be adding RTGs to our schematic, which will automatically produce power for us. We can improve this later, but for now this will suffice. It's improvable by a lot, actually, as the maximum space for a landing core is 15 by 15. With that out of the way, it's time to go to a detour. You see, there are 2 final techs locked behind beating NPC. Heat tiles are here, which means we can use thermal generators yet again. Here's some background factory building while I explain the plan. This sector has a very powerful guardian. It's actually the first sector with a T5 guardian, specifically an eclipse. Tier 5s are insane this challenge and will require special effort. Eclipses have a base health of 22,000 HP, with the eradication multiplier that turns to 33,000 HP. Finally, with our settings, 2 guardians always appear, resulting in 66,000 HP. For some reference, this sector has the equivalent health pool of tar fields, tainted woods, and impact 0078. All in one. Plastanium cyclones aren't gonna cut it. Instead, we need to use something that's entire purpose is taking down these T5s. It's very expensive to build, so let's make everything else first. It's also worth mentioning that there are not a lot of coal and titanium patches here, so making surge wasn't very practical due to constraints. Not producing surge is relevant, keep that in mind. We need 150 oil S for plastanium, but there's no oil here. We need to turn water into oil. We need around 5 of these to make enough. And we need a lot of power. Thankfully, RTGs save the day. They make power for almost no effort. You're seeing, I don't know, 7,000 power right here. And now for the 750 water we need. That should do. That's just funny. We finally have the plastanium set up. Look at that full belt. Whoa, the waves are starting to get strong. It's time to improve the defenses. The meltdowns get placed. It's the weakest enemies, but this wall is looking strong. We need to move our RTG power plant here, because it would be impossible to defend from air units otherwise. What's happening to our silicon? It's gone just like that. Yes, we can deconstruct the previous plant to get some materials back. But wow, resources are one hell of a slippery slope. One moment you have so much, and then the next it's almost gone. Time to set up air defenses. We really don't want the eclipses going here where the RTGs are, so we're defending it with a lot of cyclones. And here it is. Watch the resources being spent. The eclipses are definitely not going this way. We're done with the air, time for the ground. The anti-air is so good that they're avoiding it. Thankfully, our ground defense has meltdowns, so we're all good. Let's add an overdrive to boost the turrets. We are running out of graphite. Let's use this last coal patch to make it. And let's make some meta glass to complete all the basic resources.
What is blood going to do with sex? What is blood going to do with? What is blood going to do? What is blood going to do?
I'm sorry. We have meta glass now, and that's all our basic factories done. Here's the strongest type of wave against our defense. It needs a bit more protection, but other than that, the firepower is there. It's time to start preparing for the eclipses. Just like for the Antumbra, we'll be using parallaxes to pull them into fuses. And I'm out of graphite. This will be our ammo source. I'm getting tired of us not having enough graphite. Let's add another multipress. Out of sight, out of mind. After we get thorium mines built, it's time to finally build our all-around T5 unit killerish turreter. It's called a foreshadow, and it's perfect for dealing with T5's. It's an expensive railgun that deals a whopping 1350 HP per hit. With its fire rate, its DPS is 405 per second, and that's just one. If we can use 10 of these, that's about 4000 HP per second. That might sound absurd, but remember that we are dealing with 66,000 HP here. It's 100% warranted. But remember what I said about it being very expensive. That's because it takes a lot of surge to use properly. That wouldn't be a problem if we were making surge. But we're not. We only have enough surge for 4 turrets and the ammo. That's okay, while we won't be able to burst them with just foreshadows. We still have the rest of our turrets. It'll cut it close, though, even with the foreshadows. So what are we waiting for? Let's build these and see if it sticks. Needs a force projector. Pretty nice. Loses a few walls on the strongest type of wave. I'm happy with that. The shield broke immediately. We lost power to all our menders. The phase fabric boost costed us a meltdown. We literally don't have the surge anymore. I guess this meltdown is going. I hope we have enough surge ammo for the foreshadows. Here we go. Oh shoot, they're going for my thermal generators. But look at that foreshadow damage. but now the fuses are out of range. It's low, but the foreshadows are destroyed. But wait, our air defense is coming in clutch. And by the skin of our teeth, we beat Nuclear Production Complex. Beating this sector unlocks the two technologies I mentioned at the start, and they're both essential to beating Mycelial Bastion. The first one is the Spectre, the best turret for continuous DPS, exactly the thing that we need for Mycelial Bastion. The second one is the Airblast Drill, the most powerful drill that lets us make the most use of our limited ore patches at Mycelial Bastion. These upgrades will make the difference in Mycelial Bastion. Before we continue, if you're enjoying the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, it really helps out. In order to prepare for Mycelial Bastion, I added an essential upgrade to my core schematic. That upgrade is making megas, which will be extremely important for us. We already covered their payload mechanic when we did atolls, but their healing mechanic will make menders useless. Their power is not something that can really be described. Just know that they're insane. With us intentionally not using an overdrive, the space has been used up well. And now we're finally ready. We're bringing max of all the resources we have, even Surge and Phased. In a few minutes, you will see this one thorium patch run the entire base. We'll be getting plast and silicon from these landing pads. You can really see the Spectres in action here. Cheap ammo and good constant DPS is perfect here. This is definitely a good foundation for our quote-unquote defense later. Let's now work on making our Archids. Because I built this base quite poorly, there's barely any space. We'll make our graphite early this time, learning from our mistakes. We are quite low on silicon and titanium, though, so it'll be a struggle before we can start making Archids. I can't even build titanium belts properly. I've now cleared out space for cryofluid. Damage is a suggestion. This overdrive will be enough for the thorium drills to feed the rest of the base. And we are now finally making Archids. Even Spectres aren't enough. Well, they're barely enough, but they're getting in the base. Time for meltdowns. I was considering making Velas, but the circumstances didn't allow it. I simply don't have the resources. I'll have to save them for next time. It's a little unfortunate, since they're actually very powerful. just happened? The thorium reactors exploded. But how? There's literally a logic processor to stop that from happening. The death corpses here suggests that air units must have bombed this. We need another meltdown here. We need more silicon. Let's expand into our upper area. Believe it or not, we'll be using our Archids as defense. We'll use repair turrets to heal them, and they do a lot of DPS in numbers. And for the first time in this playthrough, we'll be using impact reactors. I'm not sure why I didn't use them earlier. Just one of them gives the equivalent power of 7 thorium reactors. Let's also add some force projectors to help with the waves. And now we wait for our Archids. Here are some highlights. Another T5 Guardian wave. This time it's a Toxipid, the final iteration of the Crawler class, and the upgrade to the Archid. We're going to use foreshadows for these, as well as all of our Archids. T5's are no pushover, so I hope this goes better than our NPC attempt. Toxipids just so happen to also be the thing we unlock after beating this sector. That's a big wave over there. Testing my storage method. It works, and now it's time to face the Toxipids. "19 Archids versus 2 Toxipids. Here we go. The megas will be tested here. Incredible, the Spectre is still standing. We got our lost units back. It's time to end this. That's the first core. Let's heal up. We lost another Archid. That's the second core down, only one more. Let's deal with these swarms first. And now for the final push. It's over, mycelial bastion is down. It might not have seemed like it on screen, but this sector was probably where I did the most micro I've done thus far. I had to make improvements to my factory for almost 40 waves straight, and I had to constantly be looking for enemy infiltrations in order to not lose the sector. If I had to make a ranking for the sectors I took the longest on, this would be very high up if not on the top. With that stupid sector beaten after 2 episodes, there's officially only 3 sectors standing in our way. 3 more sectors until we finally beat the game. While I'm recapturing Salt Flats, let's talk about where we go from here, shall we? In the next episode, I will be taking on the last 2 defense sectors of the game, Desolate Rift and Weathered Channels. After that, I will improve my export hubs, with numbered sectors that are not required in the campaign. Lastly, I will take on the penultimate sector, PLT, and beat this game once and for all. At least that's the plan. We're now in the end game, and I hope you stick around to see the ending.